You ready? Hi, everyone. Oh, I got them going this morning. Hi, everyone. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and Teddy Bear, and even Benji barked this morning to say hello. I hope you are well. Let's see. It is Monday, December 21st. Just a few more days till Christmas, and I don't know about you, but this week is always so full of pressure. It really shouldn't be, because it's just a holiday, and but it's always this desire to make it even better every year, and sometimes, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. So I'm here. I'm here this year to make your holiday a little less overwhelming by getting you engaged with the Cricut machines, and just sort of having a little bit of fun with this powerful, amazing tool called the Cricut. Oh, hi, Regina. Hi, Susan. Welcome, everyone. Hi, June and Tammy. Tara, good morning. So this morning, it's our Mystery Material Monday. So I'm going to change that up a little tiny bit and show you something that the maker does. I suppose it could be a mystery material because look at what I made. I want to just show you. I'm going to hold it up to this. But, okay. So I got these acrylic. They're just like kind of a thick acrylic ornaments. I got them at Michael's. Look, I'll show you. From Michael's. They're originally $1.99, and when I got them, they were half price, and they had all different styles. And I thought that I could use them on the Cricut. So I decided that I was going to figure out how to use them and show you how to do that. So our mystery material is sort of like a mystery maker thing. There's one, it says Joy. I don't know if you can see it because I know there's light in the background. But these have been etched onto the acrylic. This one says Believe. And look at this one. This one says Love. Very fancy. I don't know if you can see that, but really just, I was pretty amazed at this. And this is a very inexpensive project. And I assure you, on Amazon, on Michael's, they have a lot of these still left. So apparently people haven't figured it out. They're 99 cents on the Michael's website. So if you want to take a look or go into your local store, they're so small and, they're kind of hard to figure out. So I have, not hard to figure out, but hard to find in the store. But online, they have a number of different pieces. What are you doing, Benji? He's making another. They have a number of just different sizes, and obviously they're clear. Now, I thought this was a perfect thing to start with etching, just simply because of the expense. I've been on Amazon and I've looked at some things, and I didn't know what to buy because I'm like, I want to show people how to do the engraving, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of money and mess it up. And so I thought this was perfect for that, for this application. And actually looks pretty cool. I think I'm just getting started. I think there are lots and lots of different things that you can do with this, such as, like if you have someone who just got married or they just had a baby and you want to do a dated ornament, you could do that, or a memory ornament, things like that. But what I did was I used some images that I just found in Design Space and converted them to engraving. Hold on just a second. What are you doing? Come on, what are you doing? No. Sorry, Benji had something and he was making an awful lot of noise. Okay, so I figured I would start with this and just kind of show you what my thought process was about the engraving tip. So what is the engraving tip? First of all, it only works with the maker. So if you don't have a maker, you cannot use this tool. Oh, wedding favors, yes. Would make beautiful wedding favors. But it only works with a maker. So I realize not everybody has a maker, but I just think that you should kind of know about what tools there are out there. I think it's helpful when you're picking a machine, because, you know, people asked me yesterday, even they asked me, what's the best machine? Which one do you prefer? And you know what, to be honest, I love all the machines. And so I love that they each have their own sort of niche that they that they are good at. And the maker is very good at this thing called an adaptive tool set or adaptive tool system, and that's what this is. Okay, so it's extra. Okay, but when you buy these from Cricut, this is an adaptive tool, and it has like these little cogs here that go into the maker. That's what makes it special just for the maker, because you'll notice that the corresponding cogs don't have that on the Explorer. So that's what makes this a maker tool. And the cogs are great because it gives more power to the device, and it makes it so that it's easy to do whatever it is that this particular tip is going to do. So each one of these has like a little plunger here, right? And it comes off, and then you put on these tips. This one happens to be the engraving tip. Going to get real close. It's super sharp, like pointy sharp. And it does indeed do a very good job of engraving. It can engrave lots of things, including paper. I've engraved the adhesive foil, and that's vinyl, but I've engraved, what is that paper called? The true brushed paper. But I think it was really designed for engraving metal and plastic. So this is a tip. Okay, and you see that there's a number here, 41. So I want to just show you, because this is a Cricut. This is a new Cricut product. I think it's called the Tool Caddy. And so here is where you put all of your blades and housing. See, that's a blade. That's a regular blade. This is a deep cut blade. This one here is the knife blade. This one doesn't come off. The knife blade and the rotary blade, that one's just a plain one. The knife blade and the rotary blade, this is the rotary blade, do not have a tip that can be removed. But the other tips do. Let me show you where they are. I have them all stored in my little bottom of my caddy. And so here they are. So you only need one of these housings, and then you can buy the tips. That's why you can buy the tips separately. Okay, so here you'll see this one here is the perforation blade. It has the number 1, 2 on it. And then you have, which one is this? This is 01. This is the one scoring wheel, the 01 scoring wheel. There's 2 of them. There's an 02, which is right here. That's the 02. You'll see it has 2 sort of wheels on the end. Then we've also got this. This is the deboss tip. It has a very tiny, it looks very much like engraving, but it's not as pointy. That one is number 21. And let's see, there's the wavy blade. Where is that? Okay, and here's the wavy blade, which has a number 31. So they have these corresponding numbers, okay? And so this one here that we're going to be working on is 41, and this is the engraving tip. It's very pointy, sharp kind of thing. Now, you, by the way, do not need one of these, but it really does help because it's like, I don't know, I call it like an egg, but it holds everything, whereas trying to keep it in your little pocket of your machine, it makes it a little bit hard. So just a little sales plug for that product. Anyway, so here it is. I'm going to get real close so you can kind of see. And this is how you would remove it. You press this plunger and you take it off. You see? And let's just show you the inside. The inside is shaped kind of like a square oval. And keep that finger pressed on here and just put it in there and take your finger off and it's on there really, really good. Okay, so we're going to show you how this works on the machine in just a few minutes when I talk about, after I talk about where I got these images, okay? Okay, so the thing is about the engraving tool is it only will work on some products, especially won't work on things like glass. So if you're looking to etch glass, this is not the tool for you. But it will etch acrylic, paper, plastic, I think leather. I'm going to have to check that out, but it does a lot of different products, not just this acrylic. And again, you can buy all kinds of acrylic blanks, squares and rounds and all different sizes, and you can get as detailed as you want. But for me, I wanted to do something simple. So I could just kind of show you how I went about it. So I found, as I said, I found these blank acrylic ornaments at Michael's, half off, and they were $1 each. So I bought a bunch of them. I bought the heart, I bought the star, and I bought this like kind of like a bauble. And then I went out to look for images to do engraving. Do you need that plastic piece on top part of the blade? This piece, no, you don't, because I have one that doesn't have it. And no, you don't. It's just sort of a shield for your fingers, I think. All right. So, because I have one and it works just fine. And in fact, it might actually come off. I don't want to force it, but it might come off. It looks like it might come off, but I have one that doesn't have it. So it doesn't really matter. It works just fine. Okay. So let's see. First, do not remove. So Regina's saying it's protective. Do not remove. But I have one that got removed or came removed or something, and it still works, but it's probably protective for your fingers. So, okay, so first let's look for some images. And the great tip, the number one tip I would say about working with the engraving tool and working with a number of the tools is to look for images that are drawn, that are set as drawn images, okay? So here's what I did. I don't know why I'm not coming into focus too well here. But anyway, so here's what I did. I went to images right here. And I just typed in the word draw, okay? D-R-A-W. By typing in the word draw, you will come upon almost 11,000 results of just drawn images. Now, you can start here. I don't want to tell you that you can't do any other image. You absolutely can, but this is a good place to start because there's a lot of things that you can try here. So you'll see that these all show as drawn, and this is where I found this love, and just doing a pretty cursory look. See, I found the joy here. I found believe. There's another one that's just love. There's all kinds of different things that you can pick. There's this beautiful etched joy, and even parts of a thing. So, for instance, I've seen some things that say, like, where is it? With like an Anna Griffin like sentiment, something you'd put on the inside of the card, but you can take sort of, oh, there's Holly Jolly. That's really cute. And look at this one you could use for baby's first Christmas. So here's a lot of these is what I'm trying to say. And then there are some that you can take certain parts of it. So this anniversary, of course, it's not going to show me the one. Okay, so this is 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. You could use that, or you could just use the word season or jolly. So think in terms of parts of an image and start with the drawn image. Now, if you really want to do something that you don't see in this 11,000 images, you have to go through quite a few. You can make it, or you can start with an image as well. So just so you know, you don't have to be stuck with just a drawn image. You can actually make it by using the text feature, or you can start with an image that's not drawn and turn it into an etched image. Okay. So, but for today, because I want to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. So for today, let's just use something like what we first saw here. Where is it? Where is the one here? This joy. So let's just use this joy. I'm going to choose it. Okay. And we're going to pretend like we don't see these. Okay, so it comes in and you can resize it. And we're going to have to resize it because we want it to be able to fit on our, on our special ornament. And so joy, I don't know, I think it could go on either this one, which is kind of the bauble shape, right? Or maybe even the heart, but I like the love for the heart. And so what I did was I measured, let me get my ruler. So I measured the ornament that I wanted to engrave, and I measured it at the widest part here. So this is 1, 2, 3.5 inches wide, and not including the stem and that point, it's about 2.25. Okay. So I need for my engraving piece to fall within 3.5 and 2.5. Okay. So how did I get it on there? Well, I'll tell you, first I just tried it to go freeform, but then I came up with this little idea that I want to kind of throw at you. What I did was I grabbed a shape. Now I know this bauble is kind of a unique shape, but it kind of, if you take off the top and the bottom, it sort of looks like an oval, right? Sort of an oval. So I grabbed a circle. And that's in shapes, right under text, shapes, okay? I grabbed a circle, and then I immediately went up to line cut right here. And I changed it to draw. And that way it looks like it's going to be drawn, and you can see the inside of it. Now what I did was I unlocked it, and then I put in the parameters here. So I want a width of 3, remember? 3.5, right? And then a height of 2.5. Okay. So that's why I unlock it, because if you don't unlock it, it will just grow, and it will always be the same width and height because it's a circle. So I'm going to change the width to 3.5 and the height to 2.5. Okay. So now I have my oval. All right. And so I want to take this joy, and I need to fit it within the oval. So I have to make it smaller. And to be on the safe side, you want to have a little bit of room around it. Okay. So I think this looks really good. Don't you? So I think that this is going to work out great for my ornament. And what I'm going to do now, and I can even I might have to move this because I forgot to do this part, is I'm going to turn this to engraving. So I have a drawn image. I need to change the line type to engraving. So I do that up here, line type, use the pull down menu and choose engrave, okay? And then take my little drawn image here and sort of center it where I want it, which is right here, okay? Then I'm going to select them both, and I'm going to attach them. Oops, why did it duplicate? Oh, by the way, I've seen some funny things this morning, so I hope that this works out, because I've seen some pretty funny things when it came time to making these. So I want to make sure I'm going to remove these so that it only does, I don't know why it duplicated it, but it did. Or maybe it just, oh, maybe it grabbed this one here that I did before. Okay, so here it is. We've got one, whoops, dang. Okay, select and attach. Okay, so now I am ready. Hi, Karen. It's okay to be late. You can watch the replay. So now I have an image that started off as a drawn image, okay, and was converted to an engraved image, but I have a drawn circle around it. That's kind of important because that's just going to give us a better idea of where to place this on the mat, okay? So let's go and make it. And I am going to take my little oval-y, circle-y thing, and I am going to move it. I'm just going to move it over just so I know where it is exactly on the mat. And so I think what I'll do is I'll go over 2 inches, and that's why we have these grids here, and I'm putting the middle right here on that 3-inch line. Okay, you see that? Then I hit continue. Now, I'm going to take a mat, and for this, because we're using acrylic, I'm using the strong grip mat, and I'm going to also use some tape. But here is my acrylic ornament. I'm going to move you just so you can see what I'm doing. Give me just a second. All right, here we go. So I've got my mat, and remember on my screen, I put it so that the middle, or right at the middle mark here, is going to be on the 3-inch line, and you can't see. Okay. The 3-inch line like this. Okay. It's important to be accurate, but it's not so terribly important. Like if you're off by a few millimeters, that's okay. Now, you've got this here. You can either take it off or you can do what I did, which was I just taped it down. So I just taped it down, and I did also use some, this is just plain old masking tape. I used some masking tape to kind of just make sure it's secure. This is a brand new mat. I don't think it's going anywhere, but just for, good practices, it might be a good idea to, always have your masking tape around just to kind of hold it in place. And you don't need to put it everywhere, but here's fine, okay? So now I have my acrylic put on this 3 line straight across, and I'm just going to go ahead with the next bit, okay? So I'm going to bring you back up to the screen. All right. So what you'll notice here is that there are only certain materials that can be etched or engraved. And I want to just say, I keep saying etching, but etching is a slightly different thing. So I have to keep reminding myself it's engraving. Okay. So, so there are only a few items that can be, engraved. And so if you hit compatible, you will see these are all of them. Okay. But if you hit all materials, you see there's quite a few things that are, shaded out. And that means it's just not compatible for this tip. All right. So let's just go to the compatible, and I'm going to choose down here, other, and I'm going to choose acrylic. Now, there is another acrylic that's it's thick, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. This is thin, 1 millimeter. The reason why I'm not being given the acrylic thick is because I put a drawn image on this. For some reason, it doesn't allow it. I'm not sure if that's a bug or a feature, so I'm going to check with Cricut about that. So I'm going to choose acrylic, thin, 1 millimeter, and there we go. All right, and it's telling me, sorry, okay, sure, Christina. It's telling me that I need to add a pen, and then I'm also going to add my engraving tip. Now remember, with writing, it always does the writing first, but we're going to trick out the system. We are not going to add a pen because we don't want a pen drawing on our acrylic. We're just simply using that to help us locate and put the engraving right where we want it. Okay, so in this case, just ignore the request for the pen. Okay, so then I'm just going to move you over here. And let's see if I can get you a little closer. Okay, so here, whoa. Okay, all right. So here we go. And I'm going to put it into the machine. Now you notice I do not have a pen in there. I don't know why my thing is moving. I apologize. Okay. But I also don't have my engraving tip in there. So I have to take out my blade with the housing and take my engraving tip. And remember those cogs? There are the cogs right there. And so they match up to that. And we close it like this. Okay? No pen in there, even though we have that drawn semicircle or whatever that thing is. Okay? And then we hit the blinking light. Now what you'll see, thank you, Susan. I did move the star wheels, and I'll mention that in a second. But what you'll see is you'll see the actual clamp A going down as if it's writing that circle on there, but there's nothing in that clamp, so that's fine. So now after it does the drawing, it's going to start the engraving. It does take a few minutes for the machine to make sure you have the right thing in there, and then it starts to do what it's doing, engraving. Now, Susan thankfully reminded me, you see these little wheels? These are called star wheels, and they're normally very helpful to pull your mat in and out of the machine. But for something like this, and also for like chipboard or basswood, thick things, I'm trying to think. I think chipboard, basswood, maybe foam dots. I know also with the foil tip, you want to move them over and then you can move them back when you're done. Okay. It's just, they'll leave an impression on the mat anyway, if you don't. Okay. So it is actually done. It's so quick. And there you go. Here it is. I'm going to take it off the mat because I want to show you. It does come in. It's a little bit messy. But we have to take it off our mat. So we have to remove all of the tape first off. I'm going to remove this tape here. Oops, I pressed a button on my computer. Okay, so I take off there. And, okay, there we go. I want to take this tape off because I don't want it sticking to my mat. And you'll notice, okay, I got my Siri going for some reason. Okay, so you'll notice that it has a little bit of particles or dust particles. That's fine. You can just kind of wipe it off like this. And there it is. Now, I hope you can see it okay. I know there's a reflection in it, but we have successfully, I'm going to put a piece of black underneath there so you can see it a little bit better. But we have successfully put that joy, and I think it looks pretty centered, right? Isn't it great? I mean, I think that this is a great way to use engraving without fear. And I hear some people are saying, oh, you know, I'm a little bit afraid of it. You can, you know, for 99 cents, if you pick these up for 99 cents, you can go ahead and do it without fear. Literally, I came up with this morning because I was kind of tired last night, so I didn't prepare for this morning. So this is not a difficult thing. And yes, it is only for the maker. It's only for the maker. It's called the engraving tip or the engraving tool. And I can show you this again. I just want to show you. Now this one I got like really advanced, and I decided I was going to use this love that's shaped like a heart. And I played it safe, and I sort of put it a nice big thing around it. So let's do, for instance, let's do the believe. Where is the believe? Okay, so here's the believe on a star. Let me show you how to do it on a star. It's the same principle, okay? So let me get you back up here. All right, here we are. So I go in here for images. Under draw, I'm going to just type in draw believe, because that should only bring up draw things that say believe or anything that says believe. So here's our believe. I'm going to pull that in, and I'm going to do the believe on the star. Yeah, sure, you could color it. You could certainly color it. Okay, so here is believe. I'm going to also pull in over here a shape of a star. All right, so there's a shape of a star. I'm going to move it to be drawn, and I'm going to just measure my believe ornament, my star. Where's my, here we go. So my star is from these two tips. It is about 3 3/4 inches. You see that? Wide, 3 3/4 inches wide. And then from, I suppose it's done this way from the bottom of this tip to the top of this tip. So it's like 3.5, but I'm going to say, you're only going to put it in the middle there. So let's take our star and we're going to make the width 3 3/4. Okay. So now we have to make sure that this image is small enough that it's going to fit inside of this star, which I think that's good. And that's probably good. Remember, you got to change your image by going up here to line type and choosing etched or engraved. I'm sorry, I keep saying etched. Choosing engrave. And then we take and put our star over it where we want for it to appear on our star. We select those two and we use the attach feature down here. Okay? I'm going to shade out this joy. And then we simply go and we hit make it. And then here is where it is. And I think what I did was I centered this top part of the star on 4. So here's our acrylic, here's our mat. So I'm going to replicate the way it appears on my mat by taking it and putting it, it's a little hard to demonstrate, but taking it and putting that point right there on the 1 down 4 across. Think of it that way, 1 down 4 across like that. And then we're going to make sure it's on there really good. And I'm going to tape it down. I'm not going to put a pen in my machine because I don't want a drawn part on my ornament. I'm just simply putting my tape on the mat like this, okay? And now I'm going to put it into my machine. Move those star wheels over. Put it in my machine. Well, I hope that's actually, I'm going to tape this down a little bit because I don't want it to get messed up into too much into the machine there. Okay? Do it again. I don't have anything in clamp A for the writing, but it's still going to go through the motions of the writing, but I do have the engraving tip in the clamp B. All right? And I am going to hit continue on my screen. You can't see that, but I am, and you'll see that the C will start blinking once I choose a material. I'm choosing that acrylic material, thin acrylic material, and then it's ready to go. Blink. It will go and it will do the pretend writing because there's nothing in that clamp. And after that, it will do the etching. So see how that is going around. It's actually making the star. And now it's getting ready to do the engraving. It's so fast. And really, once you get the idea of this, super easy. The hardest part for me was coming up with good things to put on the ornaments, you know, because I just didn't know. I figured, oh, maybe I could do something like personalized or 2020. And then I was just like, I just can't think of something. So why not just something that had like a little letter on it, or a little drawn word? Okay. But again, you're going to do better. You're going to come up with different things to do. So here it is done. Let me just take off my tape. Take it off. And I had that tape on a little too close. And wipe it off. There it is. Isn't that great? So great. I'm tickled that I was able to figure this out. I hope that you are going to try this if you have a maker and you have the engraving tip, but you've been too afraid to try it because it's not that scary. And again, like I know you're going to make a mistake. Right? I knew I was going to make a mistake, especially before I came up with that drawn shape around it. And you could do this if you get like square or circle, whatever. But, but to be precise and everything by using that drawn image, it just works out well that way. All right, so there you go. There's something fun to try with your maker. Next time you're in Michael's, or if you're shopping on Michaels.com, just type in acrylic ornament, and they had tons. They had all different shapes. They had gingerbread man. They had unicorns. They had all kinds of different things, but I just chose the ones that had the most area. So I chose the star, the heart, and this bauble, and it's really fun. I'm having a good time, and I think this would make a really nice gift. I don't know. I think it would, or even if you just want to put it on your Christmas tree. I mean, and you can say you made it. Isn't that awesome? So you can say you made it. There you go. All right, everyone. That is our Cricut chat for this morning. I hope you don't mind that I sort of veered off from our mystery material. I suppose we did because it's an acrylic, and I don't think I've ever covered acrylic before, but it's not something that Cricut has. But anyway, let's see. Tomorrow, I am hoping that we're going to do I wonder if you could draw on the acrylic with permanent marker using Explore Air. You probably could, Lori. Yeah, why couldn't you? Why couldn't you? And that's what I mean, guys. I'm just showing you the basics here, and you can just go ahead and take off with it, and try different things. Don't be afraid to do whatever it is, you know, to try it. What could happen, really, right? What could happen? Oh, okay, good. I'm glad that it was a mystery that's been solved, and that is good. Okay, so tomorrow I'm hoping to come back with doggy bandanas that have iron on them. These are really simple, and it does require a little bit of sewing, although I did see someone do a tutorial where they didn't sew something at all. They used fabric and they used glue from a glue gun. I don't know if I'm going to try that, but I'm going to do the doggy bandanas, and we're going to have fun. I want to make one for each of my dogs with little arrows pointing to each other, and it says, "Dear Santa, he's the naughty one." So I'm looking forward to making these for my dogs today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again tomorrow on Cricut Chat. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do that. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you, and just relax. Even though it's Christmas week, just relax, right? Let's just relax and enjoy the season, all right? And we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.